Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum. I hope that everyone is fine. I welcome you all to my lecture number 61. As you all know that we are discussing the topic of CV writing, and in our previous lecture we discussed and we covered some of the don'ts about CV writing, the don'ts which we should never use while making a CV. Today, in this lecture, we shall look very closely to those points which should be kept in mind while drafting, while making, while structuring, and while formatting a CV. So, as you all know, that I have been giving you and I have been telling you the different tips for different topics. Like when we were discussing the topic of presentation skills, I afforded my particular tips on that topic. When I was teaching you the topic of interview skills, I delivered my some of the tips on that topic. Similarly, right now in this lecture, I'm going to offer you some of the important tips that you should keep in mind when you are going to make the CV. So the first one is clear. Your CV requires and asks you to make it organized and logical. It means whatever you are going to put in your CV, it should be in an organized and in logical manner. Means if you are supposed to put your personal details in the very first section, then you are not going to include your educational, your experiences, your skills, and your other things in this section. This is what logical approach and organized manner is. So where you must use uh, those details in the section which basically is asking you to put those things into that particular section. You will definitely not include the experiences, your observations, and your relevant experience into your skills. Similarly, each and every portion has got a separate room, a separate space, a separate kind of area for those particular areas. So this thing should be kept in mind, that when you are going to make the CV, your CV should be well organized and well rather logically maintained. The next thing is concise. It means relevant and necessary. You all know that brevity is the soul of wit. It means brevity or conciseness is the beauty, is the attraction, and is an effective thing in anything. Be it your presentation, be it your interview, be it your CV writing. You need not to beat about the bushes. You are not supposed to provide irrelevant information in your CV. Here, this concise means when you are going to make your CV, then try to make it concise by adding relevant and necessary information. You better avoid adding irrelevant and unnecessary information in your curriculum vitae. For example, many of our students in the long run of making the CV larger one, means making its pages extra, they usually you know stretch their CVs to 5 to 7 to 8 pages. If you have enough information about yourself, about your experiences, that's it. Pen it down and then compose it and then get it printed. That's good. But if you are going to add irrelevant things, that which you are unaware of, that which you even do not know, so it should be avoided at any cost. The next thing is complete, includes everything you need. So this section basically completes your above point. It means concise, relevant, necessary. you are going to complete your CV by including everything you need. Definitely, you are supposed to include those things which are very important. Once you add these things in your CV, it means you are completing your CV. What happens basically, uh, many of our students, when they try to make their CV, they do not make their CVs complete. They leave them incomplete, they leave them unfinished, they leave them, unedited. Means they do not check them, they do not verify them, they do not complete them. They do it in hustle and bustle, and then ultimately it leads them to a blunder. Means, for example, they awake, they get aware of the particular advertisement on at the 11th hour, and then go to the computer operator and tell him the things very quickly, and this is how the people make the CV, and then in the result they are unable to complete their CVs completely and timely. So it should be avoided at any cost. Today I have just given you 3 tips. Inshallah, in my next video, I'll let you know the remaining tips. Till that, stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.